Good morning, this is Sarah, your healthy carnivore in the UK on day 105. I used to dream about sitting here making videos for you, and I used to dream about doing it sitting on a chair with a white vest, white shorts at target weight, looking amazing. But then I realized that somebody like me doesn't lose weight very quickly, so I decided to change that and just start making videos now. Let's document the journey. Let's talk about it, warts and all. So what's happening in 428 days? I had to write it on my hand just to make sure I didn't get it wrong. This video is entitled, What's Happening in 428 Days? That is my 50th birthday. Most people dread their 50th birthday. My husband didn't even want to talk about it. He didn't want a gift, didn't want any fuss made, didn't want to talk about it. Most people are the same. Why is that? Because 50 is the time that it's seen that humans tend to, let's just say, go to seed. But we don't need to go to seed. We don't need to be in our worst physical health that we've ever been at 50. For people on the proper human diet, we dream of being in our perfect human health. And if you found carnivore after that, then you dream about being in perfect health at 60 or 70 or 80 or 90 or even 100. Imagine walking around thinking you're going to be in peak condition at 100. No one imagines that, because no one knows about the proper human diet, because it's being censored, it's being silenced. People that talk about it are being cancelled, shadow banned. What's my plan? What's my plan for 428 days? Had to look at it again because I was just off on such a tangent. I knew I'd have to write it down. What's happening in 428 days for me? I'm having the biggest, glitziest, most fantastic party I've ever had, and I'm inviting everyone I've ever met. Not to show off, though. If I am skinny for the first time in my life, there may be a little bit of that. You know, I grew up as an overweight kid in a time when everyone was thin. I'm now going to make an attempt to be thin while everyone else is overweight. Switch sides, switch camps. Back for the other side, weight-wise, you know? And I want people to come, not to be some kind of freak show, but because I want people to know. Most people that I've ever met know I'm interested in the carnivore lifestyle. They know I eat a lot of meat. I'm that one that eats a lot of meat. I thought I heard something coming past us then. You may hear loads of noises today. It's super busy because it's Sunday. But I'm so glad I came down here. It's just so nice to get into nature. Where was I? I'm going to invite people that know I was that meat person. Are you still doing that meat thing? Are you still doing that crazy meat thing? Yes, I am still doing that crazy meat thing. And you know what? For the last 550 days since you last saw me, I've done it every single day without fail, without stopping. She didn't stop. And why did she do that? For two reasons. One, because she wanted to be the healthiest, slimmest person that she'd ever been at 50. But also because she wants everyone to know that you can take away that pain you're on. You can get off those medications you're on. You can possibly lose some weight that you've got. That mental health problem you've got could be sorted. That thyroid problem you've got could be sorted. That severe pain you've got in your feet, we might be able to fix that. That dodgy mole you've got on your back, we might be able to sort that out. Psoriasis, no sweat. 4 to 6 weeks maximum, that could be gone. How much is it annoying you? Yeah, I'm going to be a walking, talking advert for the carnivore diet in 428 days. Maybe sooner. What prompted this conversation was last night I was walking back from the local fireworks with my son, and our family are very involved in the Scouts, and we had loads to do. Which is one of the reasons I had to cancel my video with Christy. I'm sorry, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry I had to cancel that. But as Oh gosh, there's lots of people making a lot of noise around here today. Gonna have to raise my voice a little bit. What is that noise? Just gonna keep going. Walking back from the bonfire, I said to my son, this time next year, I'll be wearing a bikini. And he said, Mum, there's no way you're gonna be in a bikini. It's not enough time. And I just thought, I could get cross with him, or I could say, that was quite intelligent. The reason I'm saying that is because he's obviously heard of other carnivore videos where people have lost a ton of weight in 5 minutes. And he knows, because he's videoed me before, he's helped me edit my videos before, he knows that I struggle with the healing and getting the weight off. So I wasn't cross with him. Also, it was his opinion. And if I'm allowed my opinions, then he's allowed his opinion. And so I didn't get all upset and start crying and, why can't I be in a bikini in 12 months? I was like, okay, well, let's put a little bet on, but we're not going to get upset about this. But he's right. You know, this time next year, I still may not be in a bikini, but I'm going to damn well find out. And if I'm someone that really can't lose weight, I'm going to prove it. I don't want it to go that way. I want to wake up in 365 days from now looking the best I've ever done, but we will see. It's 260 days. I had to write that down as well. I had a sneaky look at my hand because I didn't want to forget the exact number. Because I do these on the hop videos and then I don't know the numbers. And then 260 days will be my 1 year carniversary. It's happening. I'm excited because it's happening. I don't know where I'm going with the lion diet because I'm back at work tomorrow and I may end up finding it just too tricky. But I'm going to keep going with the lion until it stops. Bit disappointed with the mince I got from the butchers this weekend because I went in there I just went there just randomly asking for mince, and she made me some quickly, but I think she may have chosen some heavily trimmed beef and it wasn't the same. It wasn't that gorgeous, lovely, dripping in fat experience that I'm used to. So it didn't taste as good. And if you're going to do lion, you've got to find beef that tastes amazing to you, otherwise you can't do lion, right? And now all I've got to face in the fridge is some cheap, nasty Tesco cheap mince and 4 ribeyes. When those ribeyes have gone, all I've got left is the cheap supermarket beef that I may not want. If that happens, I'm probably just going to have to switch to mixed carnivore and then restart my lion diet at a later date. And that is fine. It's okay. Like I said yesterday, one great thing about the lion diet is you don't have to stick to it. You can do as many days as you can, but if it gets too much, just go back to mixed carnivore. Just go back to BBBE, beef, butter, bacon and eggs. Just go back to, and if the worst happens, go back to absolute basics carnivore and bring your cheese back. There's always somewhere you can move down to when you're on lion if things get tough and rough and you haven't planned properly. So I am lion today. I've had about a pound of not very fatty beef this morning. It wasn't orgasmic. And then when that happens, I'm then questioning the lion diet, thinking, how can I stick to it if I didn't enjoy that? Because even though this is all about nutrition, it's important that we do enjoy what we're eating. All carnivores do actually relish and enjoy what they're eating. And I needed the fat and didn't get it this morning, so I was a bit... I'm now questioning my lion choices, but I know it's because I didn't pre-order that beef and it wasn't fatty, and then it wasn't enjoyable, and then it was a bit yuck. Not yuck, but just not... It didn't... It's the fat where we want it, isn't it? For women of my age who have hormones to heal, we need the fat. And sitting there eating lean beef is just about as pointless as it is. I'm full up. I'm not hungry. I'm satisfied. I'm okay. So anyway, what's happening? This is my last day at the lake. Just quickly show you my lake. Still no sunshine because it's the UK. If you're thinking of moving to the UK, don't. So my video is back to the point of the video. 428 days until my 50th birthday. Please don't for a second imagine that I'm doing this primarily just to show off. Yes, if I can get thin for the first time in my entire life, like I said, I was overweight when everyone was thin, and now I'm going to make an attempt at 48 to be thin now everyone's overweight. So I will be very lean for the first time in my whole entire life, and so there's going to be a little bit of, I wonder if anyone can see what I look like. I wonder if anyone's noticed that I now don't look fat anymore for the first time ever. But there's going to be mostly 95%. Who can I help? Who's going to spot this? Who's going to notice? Who's going to come up to me and say, Sarah, what have you done? Why do you look so different? And I've said this in another video, but I'm going to turn around and say, you know that meat thing I go on about? You know that carnivore thing I talk about? That meat thing? Yeah, well, I just started it and didn't stop. And this is the result. I'm 50 years old. I have no pain anywhere in my body. I have no psoriasis. I'm on no medication. I sleep all night long without a hitch. I don't have an overactive bladder. I don't have gastritis, IBS symptoms. I don't have any form of depression, even though it completely runs in my family. When I say runs in the family, mother, father, brother, not my grandmother. It doesn't go back that far, but mother, father, brother, depression, anxiety, brain fog, and all the other things that I'm trying to fix, you know. Mostly weight. My blood markers are pretty good, and I don't expect them to decline. I think they're going to just stay good. My thyroid is kind of in the UK normal range, but needs to be just a little bit more perfect. So I'm going to keep going with the iodine, keep going with just as much fat as I can until I get that thyroid in exactly the perfect sweet spot. Skin tags, I've got 3 left now out of 15. Those 2 yesterday were just scabs. They've now lifted, so I have just got 3 left out of 15. I have shared that information with a couple of my friends now, actually. I have got a friend who I love dearly, who I shared her my short video on my skin tags. She was going on about her skin tags about a year ago, and she thought it was to do with her, you know, lanyard around the neck. Lots of people do, you know, and I'm sure wearing those kind of things don't help. But the root cause is deep inside us, our health. And so I've been having great joy in sending her a message saying, guess what? I've nearly lost all my skin tags. And she said, I didn't realise that skin tags are down to diet. That's so interesting. I thought, seed planted. That's what we want. Planting seeds. Putting ideas in people's heads that can flourish later on. Another 5 years' time, she may have a load of skin tags and think, Sarah got rid of hers. Just had to clear my throat. 3 weeks of detox from that crap that got into my system 3 weeks ago that we won't mention on this video. Ugh. So yeah, I know that I only get between 50 and 100 hits on all these videos. That's okay with me. I'm not going to get the massive viral tens of thousands of hits kind of videos until I've lost all the weight, and I'm completely cool with that. I'm here just checking in every day, and if just one person finds that interesting and if just one person is looking forward to listening to me, then that's all I need, because you are my carnivore friend, you are my carnivore family. The people that tune in every day, thank you so much, because without you I wouldn't be here. I had to give up caffeine several weeks ago now. I can't even remember when it was now, but I remember walking into a shop and I hadn't taken, because what I did was I quit all the coffee cold turkey and went on to sort of caffeine pills, which have now stopped. I thought, I've got to kill that habit, otherwise it's never going to go. This tapering down is not working for me. I'm going to have to take a caffeine kind of supplement thing. That's now stopped weeks ago. But I was in a shop and I hadn't taken my my little caffeine supplement. My God, I felt bad. And I was actually staring at the energy drinks. I literally, it didn't happen. I didn't do it. I promise you, look me straight in the eye, I didn't. But I wanted to. I felt diabolical. I'm sure most people following this knows what it's like to give up caffeine. And I think you probably know what it's like to go cold turkey. It feels pretty bad. And I was literally staring at the sugar-free energy drinks, justifying it to myself. Just this one. I'm going to feel so much better if I do this. I'm going to have this. It's only a tiny bit of sweetener. How can it hurt? And then I said to myself, then the adult voice, the adult Sarah popped up on my shoulder and said, Sarah, if you have one now and you try to justify that you've got away with it, next weekend, you're going to find yourself in a place like this and you're going to say to yourself, that sweet taste didn't affect me. I got away with it. I got away with that. I'm going to do it again this week. In fact, you know what? It really doesn't hurt. It really doesn't hurt to have a sweetener once a week. Maybe I'll do that. And I thought, but Sarah, do you think it's going to end just there? I'm standing there, literally staring at sugar-free energy drinks, having this conversation in my head, saying, do you think it's going to end there? Do you think it's going to end there? You're going to have a bad day at work. You're going to need to get fuel for your car. Actually, I'm probably going to start walking soon because I've got rid of my plantar fasciitis, but at the moment still driving. I like to have my parking space. I like to eat my lunch in the car. I like to make videos in the car, so probably will keep taking the car. Where was I going? I was thinking, then it will be one day after work, you'll pop in for fuel at the fuel station and it'd be like, well, I got away with that sugar-free drink I had. It was fine. I'm going to have another one. Before you know it, you'll be having them on a daily basis. You're going to have to tell everyone on your channel that you've messed up, that you've broken your string of days, however many it was at that point, 60 days or 30 days or whatever it was. Don't know what the time frame was for the cold turkey on the caffeine, but then you can't say you haven't done a sweet taste in your mouth. And that is one thing it's a killer. It's an absolute killer. Just don't. So I went home in a sulk. I talked myself out of having the sweet taste. And now I'm on 105 days and I can honestly say, you can look me straight in the eye, I can honestly say this, on my children's life, on everyone's life, I have not put a single sweet taste in my mouth in 105 days, my longest stretch. And like I said in my video yesterday, my son was eating something sweet in the car and it actually made me feel sick. At 105 days. So it is worth it. I'm not going to say giving up sweet taste is easy. It's not. It sucks. But if you can do it, it will make your journey so much better. And Mitch from Old Guy Carnivore does say that when you get to the 1 year point, you will look at the foods you used to look at with adoration as things that should be fed to someone of a different species. Some people use it and like going to a pet shop, but I think that's not a great analogy because that would suggest that you'd actually like to feed your pet Doritos and seed oil filled candy. We don't even want to do that to our pets, do we? But you know, using the expression another species is a good one because we should be doing our proper human species correct diet. I use the word correct. Mitch uses the word correct. He uses it in one of his videos. I can't remember which one. But he was saying, if you've done 6 months of absolutely straight carnivore, you can look in the mirror and you can think to yourself, I am correct. It made me laugh when he said it, but I love blunt. I need someone that's going to tell it to me straight. No flapping around. Tell it to me straight. If you want to be a permanent carnivore, this needs to happen. This. Absolutely no sweet tastes. Absolutely no social events for probably 6 months until your body's really got the idea. You want to wait until your mind and your body has truly accepted that meat is its only food. Then you can start going back to those social events with your head held high, probably full of meat, not giving a toss what anyone else eats, and just full of health and vibrancy. And that's where I'm heading. It won't be long. That 6-month club that Mitch talks about won't be long. Actually, before I go, if you've made it to the end, I should have mentioned this in the beginning actually. Yesterday, I wanted to thank Mitch on his live. I joined in his live, but you get so many people commenting. He can't keep track of it. So he had a lady looking at his comments, and I thought, oh, let's just send him a few pounds. I mean, he has saved my life. And the amount I sent him is nothing compared to what I would have spent on rubbish in the last 105 days had I been eating rubbish. So I sent him a couple of quid and basically told him that he'd saved my life. When I edit this, I'm going to put the video in right at the end, okay, of what he said. So if you made it right to the end, you're going to get a little Mitch special here. I did have to pay him because his channel is big. He has a lot of support. But he had someone helping him out looking through the things, and he was talking about the super chats, and she said, well, funny you should mention that. We have got 2 super chats, and one of them's from Sarah in the UK. And his response to it was, I actually thought he was going to actually cry with his response. So enjoy that at the end. I'm going to go home, I'm going to record that bit that he said, and I'm going to pop it on the end here for you. This will be the last video at the lake now, because tomorrow I'm back to work. Goodness only knows what happens to my lion diet from here on in. I have lots of beef in the fridge. I'm going to attempt to keep going with it, but if when I get home from work some supermarket minced beef isn't my thing, I'll have to call it quit on the lion diet for now and restart when I'm ready, when I can get a stash of the good stuff from the butchers. Okay. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the clip from Mitch. I need to now go home and record that off my TV. Nothing professional here. One day I'm going to better pop clips in here in a professional way one day. Well, I hope you've enjoyed my little trip down the lake with me. I can't walk along because there's so many people on the Sunday, so I'm just sitting on this little bit of wood here. These are the steps I'm going to climb up in a minute. And this is the little perch that I've been sitting on. Yeah. This is the boating club over there. Yeah. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed my little speech. Don't know if anything made sense or joined up, but I think the general crux of it is I am looking forward to making that video when I say I grew up overweight in a world of thin people, and now I'm thin in a world of overweight people. And it's madness. One day I'm going to say that, because I'm never going to stop. You take care, guys, and just thrive. And thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the little Mitch clip. Take care, bye.
Got a question.
And with that said, Mitch, we do have 2 super chats.
Oh, no kidding. Great.
I'm going to read the first one from
Okay.
Healthy Carnivore in UK while you're bringing it up if you want to. Or
I'm going to try to find it. Oh, here we go. Okay, this is from Healthy Carnivore UK.
From
Yes.
Healthy Carnivore UK.
Yes, thank you so much. I got pounds.
Pounds. Excuse me.
Okay, you can read it.
Mitch, Sarah here, day 104. Thanks to you, you saved my life.
Wow.
That's a pretty strong thank you.
That brings tears to my eyes. I got to tell you, I hear that a lot. I know it's not just a platitude. I know nobody says that to somebody just to be nice. You don't tell somebody, you saved my life. That is the heaviest of duty compliments that you can give another human. One human being can give to another. Soldiers in the battlefield will say that to the other soldier that drug him out of a bad situation. Saved, really, truly saved their, in other words, I would not be here had it not been for whatever it was. So Sarah, thank you for the 5 pounds. That's fabulous. But thank you so much more for that compliment. And it's those things that put the biggest smile on my face and give me the greatest resolve to say, well, Mitch, people are telling you, and I see that quite often, more often than I would ever have imagined. When I see that, it proves to me that I'm on to something, that I've discovered something that very few have discovered because they're not talking about it. In this simple methods that seem overly simple on how to start carnivore, how to get past those addictions, the things that have been sabotaging you your entire life, like they did me for 75 years without knowing why. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have no idea what compliments like that mean to me.
Mhm.